is enough said.
Happy Monday, Heat Nation! Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Monday so far, you guys. I know it's the beginning of the work week, the grind has begun, but it's Thanksgiving week. I know a lot of us have maybe 1 or 2 days off coming up this week. If you don't, sorry to hear that, but let me make your day by distributing another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, before we get started, you guys, please take a moment, smash the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. We are rocking and rolling to 5,000 subscribers. Don't forget, you guys, this Saturday, doing a live video for y'all. We're going to have a lot of fun this Saturday. But I want to talk about last night's game. The Miami Heat win a huge game against the Dallas Mavericks last night in overtime. The Heat win 123-118, go 7 for 7 for the season, a 500 record. So we're basically starting from the beginning again. When you think about it, 14 games in, 7-7, 500 record. Right now, you guys, the Heat stand at the 5th seed, still in the East. They're only 1 game down from the 4th seed that New York has, Orlando owning the 3rd seed. And the Heat are 2 games down from the 3rd seed. So it's a really tight contest, really tight division. The Miami Heat have some winnable games coming up. You got a game tomorrow against Milwaukee. Then you got another game against Charlotte. Then you got another game against Toronto. If the Heat can go 3-0 in these games, you guys, the Heat can probably take a stranglehold and get that 3rd seed. Chances are, for the Heat to go 3-0 these next 3 games, it's going to be really tough. So we just got to sit back and watch. But let's live in the moment. Let's be present like I always tell you guys, because last night was a beautiful night. Started off really slow. You know, the Miami Heat defensively were really lacking. They were able to come back, grab the lead, had a pretty float 3rd quarter, dropped the ball a little bit on the 4th, was able to take it to overtime. You know, the Heat do this a lot, you guys. There's a lot of these games where the Heat are trailing by 3 to 5 points with a minute or 2 left, and even though it looks like the Heat, have a chance, they drop the ball on these games a lot. They're not able to score when they need to, but last night was different. You have big games from our big 3, I guess you can say. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Herro all step up. All these 3 guys played 38 minutes or more. Jimmy Butler leads the way. 33 points on 11 for 17 shooting, 11 for 16 from the free throw. He gives you 9 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. Jimmy Butler, you guys, I know there was a lot of talk about Jimmy coming into the season. We wanted a more motivated Jimmy Butler, and we're seeing it. He's had multiple 30-point games. He's really showing his smart decision-making out there, being a leader for this team. This is something that you definitely want to see. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro were great number 2s and 3s last night. Bam gives you 19 points, 8 for 20 shooting, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. Bam looks like he is getting way more comfortable out there at 3. He also gives you 11 rebounds, 5 assists, no steals, no blocks. Definitely is something that Bam needs to build more on his repertoire, especially if he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year. We know what Bam Adebayo does on the defensive end. He guards 1 through 5. He can switch positions. But if he wants to win DPOY, he's got to boost these stats defensively. It's just the way the NBA is. Tyler Herro, 42 minutes, 8 for 25 for the field, 1 for 10 for 3. Bad night at the 3-point line for Tyler. But he still gives you 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, and a steal. So Tyler Herro, I've called him the most consistent Miami Heat player, and it's showing. Because even when he has bad games, he's still able to step up offensively and help you win. So definitely a great showing from Tyler Herro. Something I mentioned on my last video, and for those of you that haven't seen it, when you're done with this one, go watch it, because you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. On the last video, I mentioned that this Miami Heat team has not really found their identity off the bench. We don't know who's the true 6 man. It's supposed to be Jaime Jaquez Jr. He's come back from the stomach bug that he had, and ever since he's come back, he hasn't really taken that reins. So every single night, you're seeing a different player get those 6-man minutes. Sometimes it's Jaime Jaquez. Sometimes it's Alec Burks. Sometimes it's Haywood Highsmith. Sometimes it's Pele Larson. You never really know. Last night, with Terry Rozier not playing, Haywood Highsmith started at the power forward. I think that was a terrible decision. But he did, and it ended up working because we won. You know, you had Kevin Love coming off the bench last night. 19 minutes. Kevin Love has 9 points and 11 rebounds. You know what Kevin Love does for you. Jaime Jaquez gives you 7 points off of 19 minutes in the bench. But 2 guys that broke out last night were the guys that I just recently mentioned. Alec Burks and Pele Larson. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Anyways, so last night, Alec Burks and Pele Larson stepped up as your 6 man. Alec Burks last night, 31 minutes off the bench, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 for 9 for shooting. Bam Adebayo said it in his post-game interview. This is the reason why Alec Burks has been able to be in the NBA for so long as a journeyman. His professionalism. There's some games where he does not even scratch the court. And then there's other games where he gives you 30 minutes like this and shows why he's still in the NBA because of games like this. 15 points off the bench, ending the game, playing in overtime. And so does Pele Larson, our 2nd round draft pick. Gives you 14 points, 5 rebounds off the bench, 6 for 8 for the field, hits a huge 3-point shot in overtime, 37 minutes of play. Pele Larson, it's the same thing with Alec Burks this season, you guys. There's games where he's getting oodles of minutes, and then there's games that he's not even playing. And I'll be honest with you, last night I was pissed because I'm here thinking you're playing against guys like Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford. Size. You need size out there. This would have been a perfect game for Kel'el Ware. And I'm ripping my hair off watching these games because I know Kel'el Ware is technically not ready, maybe. But then you're hearing all this stuff from guys like Kevin Love saying how he's doing awesome in practice. And then you're hearing Eric Spoelstra say to cancel out the noise. I know they're not rushing him, but in games like this, you need some size presence out there. Nikola Jovic barely scratches the floor. He plays only 6 minutes, doesn't score anything. So this Miami Heat team and Spo needs to figure out consistency off this bench. Because I'm telling you guys right now, if the bench is going to continue to be this murky all year long, I don't see the Heat making much damage come playoff time. You need a set roster. Now, good news is we're only 14 games in. Spo has a lot of time to figure this out. And that's why I feel like he's working with multiple rosters. He knows that in his bench, he has a lot of C+, B- level players. So he's trying to figure out what works best. Or he's taking his mantra as the best coach in the NBA and he's playing matchups. That's the only thing I can think of. But we need Kel'el Ware out there more, especially in a game like this where you're playing against size. So overall, you guys, I think this Miami Heat team, even though 7-7 is not the record we want, honestly, you guys, this team should be 10-4. Some of these games we lost in the beginning of the season, stinking up the third quarters, having these huge marginal leads, losing against Detroit because of Spo's boneheadedness calling that timeout, losing against Charlotte when you had a huge lead in the first half. These are games that are going to bite you in the ass later on. And I've said that when we lost those games because of how tight this Eastern Conference is. You could be 10-4, being a 3rd seed right now, but instead you're 7-7 at the 5th seed. The Heat need to take these games very serious. I don't think the Heat need to make a move. I really don't think that, you guys. I think this Miami Heat team, this roster that we're seeing, they're showing that they can do it. But the right lineup has to be put out there. I don't want to see Haywood Highsmith starting at the 4. We've experimented with this before. It doesn't work. It definitely doesn't work when you're playing against guys that are 7 feet out there. I love what Haywood Highsmith brings to the table. I love his defensive presence, and I love the fact that he can hit the 3. But at the end of the day, starting him as the power forward, as a hugely undersized power forward, when you already have an undersized center out there, this game was a lucky break. Had the Heat lost this game against Dallas last night, Heat Twitter would have called for Spo's job. Getting sick of the fact that you're starting Adebayo and Highsmith as your center and power forward out there. Spo needs to figure this out. Whether you start Kevin Love, whether you give Kel'el Ware a shot, figure this out. But Haywood Highsmith at the 4, I'm telling y'all right now, is not the answer. So I want to hear from you, Heat Nation. What do you guys think about last night's game? What do you think about this lineup moving forward? Who do you guys think fits best starting next to Bam Adebayo at the center position? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, you guys. What do you think about these next 3 games? The Bucks, Wow, I said it earlier and I'm freaking forgetting right now. The Bucks, the Hornets, and the Raptors. There we go. Do you think that he can go 3-0 or 2-1? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. We are very close to 5,000 subscribers, you guys. Thank you all so much for your support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said. Yeah, buddy. Let's go.